Welcome everybody. Now we're going to start with the fourth unit. WH constructions. As you know, WH contractions are words that use WH, but are used for questions, for clauses, for different kind of sentences, and these are when, where, who, what, how, why, whose. When is time, cuándo. Where is place, dónde. Who is people, or refers to people. Quién or quiénes. What is related with things like, and you can say qué, cuál, cuáles. How is quantity, weight. How is important. En este caso, el how tiene unas pequeñas excepciones que cuando se usa con otras palabras tiene otro significado o tiene un significado más amplio o más exacto también puede ser. Pero how alone means cómo o cuán. Why, reason, por qué. And whose people, quién o quiénes. Here we are gonna see WH auxiliaries for instance for questions, because as you know we usually use these words for to make questions. In the verb with the verb to be in the present, we have to say why is your cousin here. That's mean you have to use the WH auxiliary, WH word. Then the auxiliary in this case is going to be the verb to be, then the subject, then the verb, and finally the complement. Why is your cousin here? With the verb to be in the past, we use the same, the WH word, then the auxiliary in this case the past, and then the subject and the complement. In this case, when was the accident, we have when is the WH word, was the auxiliary, and the accident is the subject. We have no complement in this sentence. With the present simple or simple present, we use WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, and the verb. What does he mean? And with the simple past, we use the WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, and the verb. En el caso de los presentes simples o pasado simple, tienes que recordar que siempre utilizamos los auxiliares did, does o do, en this case también puede ser, primero entre el sujeto y entre la palabra WH, y el verbo va al final o antes del complemento. In the continuous present, we use WH word plus the verb to be, then the subject, and then the verb plus ing plus the complement. How is Mary doing the homework? WH questions were prepositions. Here we use WH word, does or do, the subject, the verb, and the prepositions. Bueno, cuando usamos las preguntas o hacemos una pregunta que comience con WH y termine con una preposición, nosotros podemos usar la preposición al final o la podemos usar al comienzo. Gramáticamente o formalmente hablando, lo más adecuado es poner la preposición al final. ¿Ya? Here we have some examples of this. Where does your friend live on? What floor do you come from? Here you can say, on where does your friend live? Or where does your friend lives on? ¿Qué significa? ¿En dónde vive tu amigo? You can say en dónde. You can ask ¿dónde? Where does your friend live? Okay. In formal writing, we put the preposition before a question word. In conversation, we usually put the preposition at the end of the question. Formal. On what floor do you live? Informal. Who do you live with? So we use whom after a preposition. When we often use who when the preposition is at the end. Formal. With whom do you live? Informal. Who do you live with? Entonces, formalmente hablando, with whom, cuando cuando la preposición está al comienzo, nosotros usamos el whom. When the preposition is at the end, we use who. Future time. When we talk about the future time, we always we have to know that we have two different ways to say or to talk about the future. Will or be going to. We use will and be going to make predictions about the future or to say what you think will happen in the future. Here we have will and going to. Now we're going to see the difference between them. For instance, one day he will be rich. Here we use will for a prediction, what we think will happen. And look at those black clouds, it's going to rain. Well, we use be going to for a prediction that is based on the present situation. What we can see is going to happen. The difference is that be going to is based on the present time. We are seeing that something is going to happen because we know that something is happening now, but the result we are going to see in the future. Teacher, your parent will be very upset about this. Will is more formal. So the difference is too that will is more formal than be going to. Father to daughter, your mother is gonna be very angry about this. Be going to is less formal than will. Will versus be going to. Will. I'm having a trouble